Aloha mai kako, Michael Kilomau Tengun here yet again. Just considering what I call default. So every morning I have a litany of things that I do so that I can be more present, to be more aware. I apologize, that's our hen that is clucking in the background. So, not sure who she is. We haven't been able to find her owner yet, so apparently now she is part of our own ohana. Anyway, she thinks that she is a rooster, and so she clucks in the background. So you may hear that as we go through this video. Anyways, what I wanted to talk about was the concept of default. Now, most of us in the morning start off by waking up, going things that we just do routinely. We get that cup of coffee, and it's a main staple of our day. Now, the thing about that is that when we do that, we go into what's known as default, right? It's just the normal activities of our morning. And with default, the thing about that is that there's something called default network or default state network. And basically you can think of it as where you go starting point. Now, if you think about this in terms of a movie buff, The Matrix, right? The Matrix, Neo, when he was first introduced to the whole concept of the Matrix, and he's in there with Morpheus, what he does is then he has that residual imagery, right? He looks like he did when he was still plugged in. Now, when that happens is we are all pretty much like that. That's how our day starts. We have these routines that happen that we go through. As we go through these routines, it's the same old every day. Now, the thing about that is unless we're able to interrupt the natural patterns of our mind, of our body, then we more or less remain the same. And as we remain the same, there's nothing wrong with you or I. However, we're subject to certain, and these programs and these patterns that we encounter, then we basically get stuck on repeat, doing the same thing in the same way, even though circumstance and person may differ. We get stuck, right? My morning ritual is different. So these are different activities that vary generally every day that I go through to essentially be able to be more focused upon the present moment. And so I want to talk a little bit about that because generally I break them down into connecting, nourishing, creating movement, something in terms of awakening the systems, and then expression. So this morning, for example, my connection was going out, and I have a gratitude list that I write every day. And I say aloud, I am grateful for, and I say, my beautiful, loving family, to be here on Maui, up in Kula, to be in so on and so forth, health and prosperity, so on. And as I do, what really happens is I'm actually setting a very specific tone for my day. No longer am I just starting off and going through the motions. I'm actually taking a moment to consciously think about where I want to place my attention. From there, then, I go through a number of different activities. Hot tea in the morning. So I have Goya, Okinawan, right? The Goya tea that I got from my Auntie Misty in the morning. Then I'll have some hot lemon water. I'll do some stretches. Right now I'm closing things down, and so what I'm doing is going through a mindfulness-based activity with how I shave. Now, I've been on Oahu and I didn't bring my shaver, so again, Okinawan all over the place. However, what I do when I shave is I make sure that I'm paying attention. So this is going to be a new experience because usually I'm fully mindful of the moment, and since I'm including all of you on this as well, ta-da! So I use a straight blade razor, old school. Now, the thing about that is that it really helps me to focus, particularly because I usually do it without my glasses. And so what I need to do is focus upon the moment entirely and then really allow myself to concentrate and to be attentive of the here and now. So this is going to be a piece of it. I'm going to go ahead and get started. I'll include you on this as well, though I will continue to maintain and monitor that mindfulness. Now, the thing about shaving, see, is that with that, it's slow and steady, even pressure, using your entire arm, not just the wrist. And so when I shave, I'm focusing upon my elbow moving downward. And as I do, I'm holding a very specific angle. Now, when I'm not focused on the moment, there is a very real repercussion for that action. So far, so good. Now, with that then, what it does is I set my precedence and tone. You guys holding your breath. Set the precedence and tone for the day by starting off with gratitude. I take care of myself. Usually, if I wake up late, my son will be up, so I get to connect with him. I just happen to be on Maui before the rest of the ohana has come back, and so I'm able to actually demonstrate a little bit more of this. As all that happens, then by the end result, I'm in a place where I've actually started off my day by taking care of me first and foremost, connected to my ohana, to myself, and to my body, to my mind and spirit. So as you go through your day, remember that you start in, we all do, we start in default mode. And as we start in default mode, then we tend to carry over some things from yesterday or from what just happened. So instead of going through the regular routine, I highly recommend creating rituals. Now these rituals, as Joseph Campbell, a famed journalist who put a lot of his focus on the whole concept of mythology, right? Personal narrative, that if we're talking about what neurologists call default state network, or default network in terms of how we perceive ourselves to be, that is a narrative, that's a story. And so we are not subject to that, especially when we start off our day by being focused upon the moment and then really setting a powerful intention. All right, so that's it for me. I'm going to go continue on with my shaving escapades. Love and aloha from Kula Maui. Take care of each other, and ahui ho.